Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Child's Play 3. So, the third film in this franchise, which gets a lot of hate by a lot of people, which I don't honestly justify. I'm the same guy that defends Nightmare on Elm Street 5 and 4, but I won't really defend Freddy's Dead. It's so bad it's good, but this film, upon rewatch a few weeks back, was not as what I was expecting it to be. So, Child's Play 2, this one is definitely a downgrade over that film, but that film is the best in this franchise. Again, there's no bad films in this franchise to me. There's a goofy one and a kind of okay one, but the rest are all really good to me. So, talking about Child's Play 3, the setting gets hated on a lot. I think that a military school was probably the best way to go. You could have done a high school setting where Andy would have been in high school and Chucky, but we kind of did that with the Chucky TV series, which I know came out like 30 years after this one. And we did some school stuff in Child's Play 2 with Miss Kettlewell and that kill. But I think it's a very interesting setting that's not been done much in horror films. And for example, we get a lot of good scenes in that. But let's talk about the opening, which gives us one of Chucky's best one-liners. So we meet a bunch of executives who want to bring the good guy back because they believe that Andy Barclay is, just crazy. Let's make some money. Typical business type stuff. And Solomon, the guy from Part 2. This film came out in 1991, so this is only about a year after that film, but this takes place about 8 or 7 years after that film. So, in the timeline. So, and he's like, business is business. Business must go on. That's the number one rule of business. It's kind of a funny scene, not really, but we see him getting killed by Chucky at his studio, or his office. He gets killed by Chucky by makes him trip on marbles, and then throws a dart in his back and knocks him down and kills him with a golf club, but he gives the "Don't fuck to the Chuck" line, which is great by Brad Dourif. I think he has some of his best one-liners in this whole film. And we don't have Alex Vincent back as Andy. We have a different actor, which I know that he, I believe he actually suggested something for this film, or suggested Ronnie. It's something he suggested something about this one, Bride of Chucky. I don't remember which one it was, but we get one of the best endings in this film, which I'll get to in a second. But let's talk about the characters. I think De Silva, she's an alright love interest for Andy. I think Tyler's not as bad as people say he is. I mean, he's a little kid. He looks up to he really wants this doll, and we see Chucky he wants he calls him Charles, and because he reveals a secret because Chucky realized, wait, I got a new body, so maybe the rules don't count, because Chucky was reborn through the molten mold of bit of plastic that he was at the end of Child's Play 2. It's picked up, and some of his blood leaks into the plastic vat, which has him be reborn into a new body, basically. And he thinks, maybe I can transfer my soul to this kid because it's a new body, so it's not the same rules that applied to the one before. I got enough time this time around. So Chucky makes it his goal in this film to take Tyler down, become him. He also gives a very pretty racist line. Chucky's gonna be a bro, which is kind of a funny line. But, yeah, I think it's good. One of my favorite scenes is also the, "Oh, Andy, how much you've grown," when he finds, Andy's Playboy magazine, or Penthouse, I forget which one it was called. And a great one-liner. We see the barber, the military barber. He's played by the same person who played, Larry Cotton in Hellraiser, and he gets killed with another great one-liner, "Presto, you're dead," because he was always saying "Presto, you're bald" after he shaved people's heads. And again, it's top-tier one-liners. So the climax of this film is really good too. I'll talk about one last kill. There's when Chucky spooks the military, the leader at this school. He has a heart attack, so Chucky's trying to stab him, and he's like, "You gotta be kidding me." So again, that's just funny to see someone's reaction to a doll being alive. See, earlier he had tried to throw it away, and the poor garbage man, who didn't deserve that, gets killed because Chucky lures him in the back by screaming, and he gets there to try to save because someone's stuck in there, and Chucky turns on the garbage compactor while he's inside the truck. Gory death. It doesn't show much, but still, you see his hands getting cut off because of the compactor closing, but you can imagine. And again, probably one of the most saddest deaths because he didn't really deserve it. He's just a garbage truck guy, just trying to make his wages. So the climax of this film, we see Chucky change the ammunition and the guns from paintball ammunition to actual live ammunition, and this ends up killing Shelton, who was a dick to Andy, and we see Andy's friend, or bunkmate, dive on a grenade. He was a very kind of skittish, very, very scared kind of character, but he sacrificed himself to save them. Good character arc for him. But so Chucky makes a hostage where he makes Andy hand over Tyler for De Silva because Chucky threatens to blow her up with a grenade and kill her. I guess throw it at them and kill her. But we see him taking Tyler to this carnival. This carnival was seen before when De Silva and Andy snuck off, and this carnival's a really good set piece for the finale. So Andy and De Silva get down there and chase after Chucky. Chucky kills a police security guard, and he lures Tyler into makes Tyler take him to this haunted this scary attraction, and it's one of the best parts of the film because we see this really kick-ass, real scythe, which I don't know if that's actually allowed to have an actual metal scythe because spoiler alert, it kind of cuts half of Chucky's face off, and you can kind of see the underparts of his metallic skeleton because since it's a new body, he hasn't fully became human yet, so you don't see muscle and stuff. But it's pretty disturbing. And he gets Tyler to the top of this mountain. This mountain made of skulls, and starts trying to do the Damballa chant, to transfer his soul into him. But Chucky uses the gun training, Andy uses the gun training that De Silva had taught him earlier in the film. Shoots Chucky, shoots his arm off, and then is able to get there and rescue Tyler. And they push Chucky into his best death of this franchise. I talked about it in Child's Play 2 review. I said either that one or this one was the best. But, so he pushes Chucky all the way down to this giant spinning electrical fan, industrial fan, that just, when he hits it, you hear him screaming as he makes contact with it, every single one of his limbs is just cut off. And you might think there's no coming back for that, but we see Tiffany is able to sew him back up and rebuild him in the next film, which gives him his new look. But yeah, just a great ending to this trilogy of films, because after this they all kind of take a different tone shift. The next couple of films, the films of the rest of this franchise are called Of Chucky, not called Child's Play. I don't know if that's an MGM thing, or I think more likely it was just them trying to branch out and make the franchise more meta, because the next film comes out after Scream. So that's probably why it was called that. But we noticed that a lot in horror franchises, the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise becomes Freddy's Dead. After part 5, which I know part 6 was originally called Nightmare on Elm Street 6, Freddy's Dead, but which I wish they would have kept it that way because keep the number and the title up. But there wasn't a legal issue in that case, because it just made more sense, because Wes Craven's The Nightmare is basically what it says in the title, and then Freddy vs. Jason, you really couldn't have named that Nightmare on Elm Street Part 8, and then the remake is just, it's named Nightmare on Elm Street because it is a remake. But yeah, and then the Friday the 13th franchise, you have after Friday the 13th Part 8, they change it to Jason Goes to Hell. Jason this, Jason X, Freddy vs. Jason, and they finally get the title again for the remake. But that was a legal issue. I believe Paramount sold the rights to the character, but not the rights to the name, because they wanted to keep they wanted to make money off the first 8 films. So, but yeah, it's kind of interesting when a franchise does that. Like I said, we see that a lot in the franchise. The only one that keeps it consistent, I think, is Halloween, and Saw does too. But Jigsaw is a different thing with that. But yeah, overall, Child's Play 3. The ending, we see Andy getting arrested for, I think, probably the trespassing, because it's not serious, because you rule him out for the rest of that stuff that happened in the film. And we don't see De Silva again, which is really sad to me. I think that she should have been brought back in a reference in Child's Play, or not Child's Play, in Curse of Chucky, the 6th film, because we see at the end Andy's mom, and he asks about Mike, how he's doing. So Mike's still alive, Mike Norris from the first film, but I feel like De Silva's kind of the forgotten one. But that's no coincidence, because I believe Don Mancini, which I don't know if I brought him up a lot. The whole he's the mastermind of this franchise, and he just, I don't think he really likes Child's Play 3 at all. So that's probably why he kind of swept a lot of this stuff under the rug about this film. But it does not deserve the hate it gets. To me, Child's Play 3 isn't the best in this franchise. It's not. I think it's not even in my top 3, but it's pretty cemented at 4 for me. And overall, it's a great sequel. So that'll be it for this review. I'm glad I can make another one. As I'm blessed to make these for you guys because this is like my passion, and you know, it's a treat when I get to do this. But I don't know when I'll make the Bride of Chucky review. It'll probably be this 2-day thing I've been doing. So I recorded Child's Play 2 review on Friday, released on Saturday morning. So I might record Bride of Chucky on Wednesday and release it on, record it Tuesday night, release it on Wednesday sometime. But until then, I love you guys. Take care. Stay blessed. See you in the next one. Christ loves you. I love you. Take care.